Jonathan Majors has officially been found guilty, and now Hollywood's got a bit of a dilemma. They're gonna have to juggle and wrestle with some things, because they're the same type of people that will say, believe all women, and then in the same breath talk about the systemic oppression and racism of the blacks and other individuals of color. Well, now you got a black man who supposedly hit a white woman, and you're gonna have some conflicting sides. Frankly, I find that absolutely hilarious. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and let's see what the news is about Jonathan Majors, as well as Disney and the Avengers and Marvel team already making an announcement about a name change for the film. Before we get into this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We just got past the 2,000 subscriber mark. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Could not have done it without you. Let's get to 3,000 while we read about how the jury finds Jonathan Majors guilty of assault and harassment. And, yeah, the dude's not looking so hot. Let's be real. Now, first of all, I just want to say, I think this is a sham trial. With all the information I've seen thus far, I do not think that Jonathan Majors did it, or at least if he did, raise his hands to her, it seems to me from the outside looking in, like, the woman here was the aggressor, and, it was more of a self-defense sort of thing, but, again, this is New York, so I guess we see where they fall in terms of their liberal loyalties. A New York jury on Monday found actor Jonathan Majors guilty of assault and harassment of his former girlfriend during a domestic dispute. Majors, a rising star, they're using Ryan Rodgerathe's lingo here, who has appeared on Disney's Marvel franchise and Creed 3. It's amazing. They leave out Lovecraft Country. It was the paragon of cinema, the silver screen or the TV screen. Point is, Lovecraft Country wasn't that bad. Was convicted on Monday on account of reckless assault in the third degree and a non-criminal charge of harassment as a violation. How do you get a non-criminal charge of harassment? He was acquitted on another assault charge and one count of aggravated harassment. Majors, who was present in court on Monday, held a straight face while the verdict was being read. He left the courthouse without commenting to members of the media. In a statement to CNN on Monday afternoon, Priya Chaudhary, an attorney for Majors, said he still has faith in the process and looks forward to fully clearing his name. Now, look, sorry, Johnny boy, you might have the same name, but you ain't no Johnny Depp. Like, let's be real. If ever there was a time to scream systemic racism, it's probably gonna be now. You're not clearing my name because I'm black. Johnny Depp was able to get away with it. Well, yeah, I completely, agree. I completely believe that you and Johnny Depp had the same problem, and that is you dated insane white liberal females, and, you paid the price for it. But, look, the case is closed on this one. They've closed the books, and they've said you hit her, and because of that, Disney has taken the axe to you. In fact, Disney has already thrown the book of Jonathan Majors to the point where the Kang Dynasty will be retitled after Jonathan Majors' firing. And this is the part that I really want to get into, because as a nerdy news channel, I like to cover the nerdy aspect. Sure, we can talk all day long about the black man being unjustly served law or whatnot, but let's see how Disney, the House of Mauschwitz, is handling the situation. Due to Jonathan Majors' firing, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty will be referred to as Avengers 5 until a new title is given to the sequel. Can you imagine Kevin Feige right now just wringing his hands like, fuck, I knew I should have gone with Dr. Doom. Like, they could have done that. They could have done Dr. Doom, and none of this would have been avoided, because, they wouldn't have cast a black guy as Dr. Well, it is Disney in 2023. They very well may have casted a black dude to play Dr. Doom. But the point is, you could have gone with someone else and avoided this whole mess. I will say, I appreciate Disney waiting to fire the guy until he was actually found guilty, unlike what they did to Johnny Depp. But Disney's hoping we forget about that little part of it. On Monday, actor Jonathan Majors was found guilty on charges of assault and harassment after going to trial over domestic violence allegations. It was confirmed by Marvel Studios that Majors has officially been let go from his role as Kang as a result. And to give Disney a small amount of credit, which I don't often do on this channel because they're quite literally the devil incarnate, Disney held on to Jonathan Majors when other individuals did drop him. He was dropped by other movie studios just at the accusation alone, which, if you remember me saying, I'm very against. I was very much in the camp of innocent until proven guilty. Well, again, here we are, proven guilty. Now, while I do personally still think, like I said earlier, the man is, if not innocent, at least somewhat in the there's more sides to this story and it's not being looked at in his favor on account of the man versus woman dynamic. But hey, again, liberal New York for you. The point is, if we're going to go with innocent until proven guilty, well, guess what? Ezra Miller turns out is an A-OK type of individual, and Jonathan Majors is the big bad evil guy. In the wake of the news, the Hollywood Reporter reported that Avengers: The Kang Dynasty has also lost its title, which means they're going to probably shop around for an entirely different villain, an entirely different story arc. The MCU wasn't making money as is. Now they're going to have to rewrite the film, hire new actors, I mean, maybe they're not going to change a whole lot. In fact, I'm sure that we're going to watch these movies. Well, if you're still dumb enough to see Avengers movies in theaters or see Avengers movies at all, I'm sure you're going to watch these films and think, this doesn't quite fit with insert generic villain they put in here. Yeah, probably because they're using the sloppy seconds of the Kang Dynasty stuff because they didn't want to pay to have certain scenes rewritten or reworked in a believable manner. Internally, the project is now said to be referred to as simply Avengers 5 for the time until a new title will eventually be decided upon. And the reason I say that, he's not going to be in these movies, why would they change the name if they were still going to keep him in there? No, he's been fired. Now, I don't know if any of these films or scenes were shot or how much the camera had rolled. Maybe none of it, but man, there's still got to be storyboards, some pre-production stuff, concept art, all that's going to have to be completely redone with a new actor. I mean, there literally is, it's done, it's gone. Whatever Kang story you thought you were building up to between Loki and the Ant-Man movies and Loki Season 2 and, a bunch of other projects that literally nobody saw that made absolutely no money because Disney is an absolute train wreck, yeah, they're gone by the wayside. I guess that there is a saving grace to this. It's the fact that nobody cares about Marvel anyway, and people have not cared about Marvel since Endgame, or let's be real, since Spider-Man No Way Home. Everything after that has been so downhill, most people aren't even going to realize that Kang was supposed to be the next big bad to begin with, so Disney does have that going for them. Not going to help at the box office. People are still not going to see any of the Avengers movies going forward, but whatever. The stragglers that are holding on to hope, they'll probably find a way to justify this in their minds like they do everything when it comes to Marvel. They just lap up like good little studio lapdogs. This news may confirm the previous reports that Marvel Studios was looking to drop the Kang storyline from the MCU altogether. Although even with the title change, there's still a chance Kang could be recast with another actor in the role. I highly doubt that, because if you were going to recast another actor, why would you change the name of the film from the Kang Dynasty? I mean, that just doesn't seem to make sense. It remains unclear how the character may or may not factor into the Avengers movies, but the Kang Dynasty was also switching gears creatively ahead of Major's firing. It was recently revealed the Loki series creator, Michael Waldron, was brought in to write an all-new screenplay for Avengers 5. Waldron was reportedly on board to write the follow-up film, Avengers Secret Wars, and is now set to pen both scripts. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings helmer, Destin Daniel Cretton, also recently left Avengers 5 to focus on other MCU projects. Plot details have not been shared about either of the upcoming Avengers sequels, though it's expected that they will be making most of the MCU's multiverse. Kang's name in the title, The Kang Dynasty, had implied the character would be a big bad of the new Avengers film, but with the name reportedly getting dropped, there's no telling how he may be the antagonist or who may be the antagonist in Avengers 5. There have been reports of Marvel Studios considering Doctor Doom to replace that role. Well, that would be a much better villain. First of all, far more people know about Doctor Doom than Kang. I'm gonna be real. Comic nerds like me know who Kang is. The vast majority of folk don't. Doctor Doom, on the other hand, he is quite literally one of the biggest names in comic book villainy. Even just your average normie, you can show a picture of Doctor Doom and they'll be like, oh right, that bad guy with the metal face, the green hood, yeah, I know who Doctor Doom is. He's a very normie, accessible villain, while also being easily one of the, if not the single greatest villain that Marvel has ever done due to his rich history. That being said, who cares about his rich history? This is the MCU we're talking about. They're going to ignore it. They're going to throw it by the wayside. They're going to find a way to make it, incredibly diverse. In fact, they're probably going to
put a chick in it, make her gay.
The old adage that's going around now thanks to the South Park guys. At the end of the day, does anyone actually care? Yeah, it sucks that Johnny Boy got fired, but who really cared about this stuff to begin with? I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely feel for the dude. I feel for any Hollywood actor that ends up getting in bed with an insane liberal white woman and then they turn their life upside down. I'm actually surprised this didn't blow up a quarter of as what, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard did. But then again, those were both high-profile celebrities, and Amber Heard absolutely had a history because of her being well-known, other sort of things she got up to, and, the fact that the abuse was clearly on her end. Jonathan Major's problem, now, he was dating normies. He was dating women that were out of the public eye, so even if they did go about acting a fool, as liberal white women in the city often do, there's probably no record of it. There's not paparazzi around them all the time, and Jonathan Majors wasn't near the star, and probably will never be near the star thanks to this, that Johnny Depp ever was, so it's not like there was paparazzi following him around that could have actually caught maybe, one of these women doing something. There were some interesting footage that was shown that was about, Jonathan Majors running away after you could clearly see the female being the aggressor. So why this turned out the way it did, I really don't know, but again, are you going to expect anything else? We clearly, as much as individuals want to talk about the systemic racism and how black people are treated poorly, which again, land of the free, that's not happening. The vast majority of people getting on A-OK, the whole sort of race division going on in this country, purely a product of the media. Most folks quite harmonious and get along quite well regardless of their race, religion, ethnicity, LGBTQIAXYLMNOPQRS status, any of that crap. Most folks actually get along. So at the end of the day, I'm not super concerned about this Jonathan Major situation so much as I'm concerned about the idea that the media is going to keep running with this awful feminist agenda that doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. If you want to stop complaining about race relations because they're A-OK, then I'm on your team. But really, when you see movies like The Marvels or when you see situations like this, yeah, we should still probably be throwing a bit of a fit about women. And I know that sounds like some serious incel talk, but y'all need to get your shit fixed because you did this to the man and you're the same people that scream about, systemic racism. Get on the same page with one another. This is why you lose. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at BoltTheWord. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always about the MCU or Disney, although those are fun to talk about, but anything nerdy, anime, music, movies, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon. And remember, it's all here in the nerdosphere, because this has been Words of Paradise.